This guide is for Apps for Good students in the UK who are preparing to enter the Apps for Good Awards. Students must sign up to the Apps for Good student dashboard in order to view, edit, and submit their awards entry form. Students can do this by clicking on the Sign Up as Student button, which can be found on the Apps for Good homepage. When students get to the sign-up form, they should select the UK as their country and then input their date of birth. Your students will see a different form depending on the date of birth that they input. If your students are under 13 years old, the form will automatically change to collect a username. This does not need to be their full name and can be a nickname of their choosing if they wish. If your students are 13 and over, the form will ask them for their full name and an email address. We recommend that they use their school email addresses to register. Please note that none of our shortlisters will see usernames or email addresses when judging the awards entries. They will only be able to see the team name that students create when they access the entry form. All students should then select I'm doing Apps for Good in the relevant section of the sign-up form. Students will also have to enter a class code in order to sign up, so please make sure that they have this ready beforehand. Once your students have completed the sign-up form, they'll be taken to a landing page that looks like this. In order to move to the student dashboard homepage, students simply have to select the Let's Go button at the bottom of the page. Students can then select an avatar of their choosing to finish creating their dashboard account. Once students have made their way onto the student dashboard homepage, they'll be able to see 3 ways in which to access the awards entry form. Students can either click on the Awards tab, which is at the top of the homepage, or students can select the Read More button, which is at the bottom of the awards section on the dashboard homepage, or students can click on the Enter Awards button at the bottom of the awards entry completion bar, which is on the right-hand side of the homepage. Once students have clicked on any of the aforementioned buttons, they'll be taken to an About the Awards page. On this page, they'll be able to see the awards entry timeline, information on previous winners of the Apps for Good Awards, information on what finalists will receive, information on what winners will receive, and much more. In order to view the entry form, students simply need to select the Enter Awards button, which is at the very bottom of the page, and also at the very top of the page. After doing this, your students will come to a page which will enable them to create a team or join a team. Each student will be a member of a virtual team with their classmates. Please note that this process is different from previous years. The first student who logs in on behalf of the student team should create the team. The student who creates the team will be the only student who can edit and submit the entry form. After they have created a team, the team creator will be given a code on the next page. He or she can use this code to invite his or her teammates to join the team. If a team has already been created by one student in a team, other students who belong to this team can click on the team name below to join the team. They will need the team code in order to complete this process. Students who join a team will be able to see the entry form and provide feedback, but they will not be able to edit the form themselves. Once students gain access to the awards entry form, they'll be able to see that it is split broadly into 3 sections. Required questions, optional questions, and a completion bar, which is on the right-hand side of the page. Students will not be able to submit their entries without completing all of the required questions. If students wish, they can complete additional optional questions, which can be found towards the end of the form. Please note that these questions are not mandatory, but will enable students to become eligible for additional prizes. The completion bar, which is on the right-hand side of the page, will allow students to see the progress of their application as they go along. There are a few things that your students should bear in mind when completing the entry form. Firstly, in the video section of the form, students should make sure that they insert a link, meaning that their videos should be uploaded to Vimeo or to YouTube. Students should make sure that their video settings are set to public so that anybody with this link can view it. For more tips on how to create a video, please see the Video in a Hurry section on the Educator dashboard. Secondly, students should make sure that the document that they upload in the wireframe section of the form is a PDF which is no larger than 200 megabytes. If students are creating wireframes using tools such as Lucidchart or Balsamiq, they should be able to export these as PDFs. Thirdly, students should make sure to add HTTP or https://www. when they insert links into the entry form, such as in the video section. If students fail to do this, then the form will not be marked as complete, and students will not be able to submit their entries. There are a number of interesting features that students will be able to make use of on the awards entry form. When students enter information into the form will auto-save. This is indicated by a green dot which students will see on the left-hand side of the questions. Students will also be able to minimize each of the question boxes on the form by clicking the grey arrow which is to the right of each question. Students will also be able to see a tick mark next to each question box when they have completed a question. They will also be able to see a small tick next to a completed question on the completion bar. Additionally, each question has a handy top tips feature which will enable students to get extra advice on how to answer each question. Students can see this when they hover over the orange question mark which can be found on the bottom right-hand side corner of each question. Once the completion bar reaches 100%, students will be able to submit their entries by selecting the Submit Entry button at the bottom of the completion bar. Students will not need to complete the optional questions in order to get 100%. When students click the Submit Entry button, they'll be taken to a page which asks them to confirm that they are happy to submit their entries. After they have clicked Confirm and then click Send, they will no longer be able to edit their form. Students who are 13 and over and who have submitted their awards entry form will then be taken to a page which asks them if they would like to sign up to the fellowship. This will enable them to gain access to a wide variety of opportunities which have been set up by Apps for Good. Students who are 13 and over but who have not created their team and filled out the entry form will still be able to join the fellowship once they sign up to and log into the dashboard. Please note that students who are under 13 will not see this page as they will not be eligible to join the fellowship. Thank you for listening to this awards entry form webinar. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact the education team on education@appsforgood.org.